Thank you for being here today. Today, the Mississippi Center for Public Policy is giving Mississippians online access for the first time ever to the detailed spending decisions of 62 of Mississippi's 82 counties. Our website, seethespending.org, was launched last year to provide easily searchable access to spending by state agencies. Today, we are adding county spending data to that website. In essence, we are posting the county's checkbook registers for people to be able to see exactly how their local tax money is being spent. We have data on the site for the past 6 years. We show who was paid, how much, for what. Visitors to the site can search by the name of a payee. They can search by county department. They can search by category of spending. Again, this is the first time that this information has ever been available online. People are frustrated with the direction of government, and they feel helpless to do anything about it. This site is a way to do something at the local level about local spending. That's where people can have the most impact. We hope concerned citizens across the state will join together with others in their communities to monitor the spending decisions of their local governments. If they do, we at the Mississippi Center for Public Policy will be available to help them by providing training and other resources that they need to accomplish their goals. We're doing this as a part of our mission to equip the public with information and perspective that they need to defend their own liberty. Although the tendency of people will be to look for a frivolous way their taxes have been spent, this site is not intended to be simply a gotcha site. It actually provides a service to county officials who also have never had this information at their fingertips in the past. They'll be able to learn whether other counties are providing core services at a lower cost. It also provides an opportunity for other budget savings as local merchants can see how much the county is spending for various products and services. And those merchants may be able to bid and save the county some money on those products and services. Mississippi Center for Public Policy obtained this information through a series of public records requests submitted to the Chancery clerks, who in Mississippi are the treasurers of the counties and the custodians of financial records. The test pilot, or he might say guinea pig, is here with us today. Madison County Chancery Clerk Arthur Johnston is here. He was a leader among his peers and first offering the county's spending data to us, and then working tirelessly on everything from understanding accounting codes to encouraging his peers to cooperate with us. Another leader who couldn't be here today is Johnny Hayward, who's the Chancery Clerk of Grenada County. And the fact that Arthur is a Republican and Johnny is a Democrat is just a bit of evidence that transparency is not a partisan issue. We applaud these and many other Chancery clerks who willingly complied with our requests. However, not all counties have been so cooperative. Hinds County, for example, has refused to even answer at all our public records requests. The taxpayers of Hinds County should demand that their county officials provide the data to us. While most other counties have recognized that the people's money is the people's business, Hinds County so far has said, what we do with your money is none of your business. It raises the question, what are they trying to hide? 19 counties claim that they are unable to provide information to us because in the form that we requested. In most cases, this seems to be an excuse for not complying, since we've offered to pay for the programming expenses that are required to comply with our request. In fact, we have already paid those expenses for all the counties that have complied. Future updates of seethespending.org will include the addition of school district spending data, state contracts, state and local revenue, and other elements of state and local finances. Our goal is to be a one-stop shop for people who want to see exactly how their money is being spent at all levels of the state and local government. The Mississippi Center for Public Policy is a private, nonprofit organization. We get no money from the government. As I mentioned, we even reimbursed the state and local governments for any cost that they incurred due to our request. We're based here in Jackson. We work to advance the ideals of limited government, free markets, and strong traditional families. Our work, including seethespending.org, is supported by voluntary tax-deductible contributions. I will make one other note that before now, citizens would have had to request volumes of records and go through them manually to get what they can now get with just a click of a mouse on seethespending.org. And it's our pleasure to provide this to the citizens of Mississippi at no cost to them or to the governments that they fund. That I will answer any questions. And then after we do some questions, then I'll do a short demonstration so you can see how easy it is.
Do you think with economics the way they are right now, and people want to keep up with every dollar, this information is more vital now than that?
Yes. There is no question that people are frustrated with how government is spending money, mostly at the national level, but it's hard for them to know what they can do about it at the national level. What our site provides is an opportunity for people to see how their local government is spending their money and actually do something about it. And the local level is where people can have the most impact. And so we do think that people will be looking more closely at how government is spending their money, especially in areas where tax increases are proposed. But even elsewhere where governments have less money available to them, then this will give the citizens a chance to join with their county leaders to find places to cut the budget, just like it offers them the opportunity to do that with the state budget.
How long did the process take of making the public records requests and putting all this data together?
We've been, our initial request that we made to the counties was more than a year ago. It was right around the 1st of July of last year. Again, some counties complied immediately. Others were understandably questioning of our motives and design. It's another place where Arthur Johnston helped a lot, is because he helped his colleagues to understand what the real goals are of our site and that they could trust us to present the information fairly.
Could you expand on Hinds County and exactly who responded to you and telling you that they would not provide those records?
Nobody has responded at all. Our request was submitted to the Chancery Clerk of Hinds County, and there was no response. One media outlet reported that the President of the Board of Supervisors was not aware of the request, which may be true because it went to the Chancery Clerk. So we provided the information to the President of the Board of Supervisors. Still heard nothing back. Then we turned our focus to all that was necessary to get the counties online that we do have. And so we have now issued yet another request to Hinds County, which if they don't respond by this Thursday, then we have prepared a complaint that we will file in court against Hinds County to require them to comply. The state law requires public officials to provide information that is requested in the form in which it's requested, if they keep it in that form.
Will a similar complaint be filed for those other counties that did not comply?
For some, for most of them, they are, most of the counties that have not complied are claiming the technical difficulties. Please stand by. And some of those are legitimate. Some of those seem to be excuses. And if we continue to pursue them over the next month or so, where now that we're possibly, since we're releasing this publicly, I did get a return call from somebody yesterday. So we may be making progress now. If we don't have complete cooperation by a month from now, we'll be filing against some of those other counties as well. But Hinds County is the only county we have not heard at all from.
How frequently will the data be updated?
The county information will be updated on an annual basis. However, the county fiscal year ends September 30th. And so we'll give them time to get all their bookkeeping entries and things that have to be done after the end of the fiscal year. And then probably in December, we'll issue another request for the fiscal year that ends at the end of this month. So we're hoping by the end of the year, maybe in January, we'll have the latest, the fiscal year that will be ending in September. The state data is updated quarterly, and as of today, we now have a complete volume of state data for the fiscal year that ended June 30th of this year. The state fiscal year ends at a different time. So all of that is complete, so you can go to the state site and find, for instance, that something I discovered yesterday is that there's a state agency that paid $2,000 as a promotional fee to the 21 Club of New York. Now, there may be a legitimate reason, and that's actually the case with everything on seethespending.org. There may be a legitimate reason for many of the expenses that appear to be not what you would expect the government to spend money on. And so we give the benefit of the doubt, but there are things that are curious enough to at least raise and encourage others to find out. That's one of the reasons we want local audit committees, local groups of people to form, not as chapters of ours, not as part of our organization, but people who are interested, individuals or groups, who are interested in following and delving into the money at the local level, because it's not enough for us to look at this information. We could have done that without creating this site. The reason that we created this site is to provide Mississippians with access that they have never had before to state and local spending. Jimmy, did you have a question?
You got it.
What was that state agency that paid that $2,000 promotional fee?
India.
Did you figure out why? You said
I just discovered it yesterday on See the Spending. It happens to be, if you do a search for all records for the state for this just past fiscal year, that's the first one that appears. And if you put it in alphabetical order. And
How much money did MCPP have to spend to get this together on the site?
that's a very good question that I don't have an updated number for, but I would guess it would approach 650. It's tens of thousands of dollars for sure. And all of that was contributed by voluntary contributions. We don't take any government money at all. If there are no other questions, I have 3 items just to show you quickly how the site works. And assuming that this, here, works out, I will. We have on the home screen, you'll see the school and the city information, neither of which is available yet, nor is the county revenue. We will be adding that later. But to get into the site, we'll look at the county spending right now. The state and county is set up similarly, except obviously for the state data you won't see the list of counties. The counties that are in blue and underlined are the counties that we have data for. Again, we have 6 years worth of data in the system. And the first thing I'll show you is this vendor search across all counties. What that does is, you can see the search function is a business check that is, so it's very intuitive. The department is what you would expect to have on your own check, as which account it's coming from, the year, the category, just like you do in your memo field on your check, what was it spent for? And then you can search by vendor name. So if we wanted, for instance, to put it to check on Home Depot or Office Depot, you just put in the word depot, and if it shows up anywhere in the name, then you can see all the items that you can then click. And some of these appear to be the same, but they're different account numbers from different counties. If you click on the result, then you see what appears to be your check register, where it has the date, who you paid it to. We do add the county field in there. And you can see the fund that it came from, department, and spending category, all of which can be instructed, especially at the county level. The state departments make sense, they're state agencies, and the counties, sometimes their department might be 2008 bond issue. So it's not necessarily a department. And then, just like an Excel spreadsheet, you can change how it looks if you need to see more. Anyway, so this shows, you can click on the heading and sort it, so you can see in this particular Office Depot account, Jefferson Davis and Yazoo County. So that's how the check face works for all counties. So then there's much more detail available for each county. If you pick a county, for instance, Harrison County, then it shows Harrison County. The fiscal year defaults to the one that we have complete data for. The department is a drop-down menu, and although this looks intimidating, you can scroll down, and in a lot of cases it's the same item, just with different years. Each county puts their own department name in there. So all we're doing is presenting the information that we were given from the counties. We didn't manipulate the data at all, except to get it in a format that's usable. Let's look at travel. Sorry, it doesn't appear to be here. That's another. Again, that's an issue with the county data and the way that they change their spending, which is very strange because it was there yesterday. I know what I'm doing. We do have a help page, which apparently I should go to. It's actually a spending category, which is travel. Here we go. Travel and subsistence. And it will show search, and it will show everybody that Harrison County in fiscal year 2010 paid money for that they consider to be travel and subsistence. You can pick an individual person, but what's usually the most useful is to click Show Spending for all vendors below. And that ends up showing you the entire amount that was spent on travel and subsistence by Harrison County. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see that they spent $352,000 in last fiscal year on travel and subsistence. Again, just like an Excel spreadsheet, if you click on the heading, it sorts, and you can see that there was money, a lot of money paid to Chase for assuming that's credit card charges, but you can see which department spent them. You can group these by dragging one of the headings up, and then it shows you by department. So you can see how much the supervisor spent on travel. And then you can see more records. So they spend a lot of money on travel board supervisors in Harrison County. This is an example of how you can find it. If you like to do a drill down, this will be the last thing I'll show you. You can go to the department, search, and then what this does, and all of these that are at the top of the screen, search by department or by category or by fund, these are drill downs. So this will limit the next items to just what will fit in that. So like on the check base, I could have put in a fiscal year and put in something that a category that they didn't spend any money on that fiscal year. If that happens enough, then you come to these, and then you can drill down and see exactly for each fiscal year which department, which all the departments will be there, which categories were spent that year. I'm getting in much more detail than probably is reasonable. The real way to experience this is is to get on the site yourself and play. And let us know what you're finding. If we can help you in any of these searches, if there's something you think, I'm wondering if we can find this, then call us and we'll be glad to walk you through the steps. In addition to that, especially for those of you in this room, this will be especially helpful, I hope. Something that we can't really offer to the public because of the volume of requests, but there's more data that we have from the counties than appears on See the Spending. We can search in different ways. We can compile information in different ways. So if you have a question and you're thinking, or if you say, I heard this happen, is there a way to find that on See the Spending? Then we can, whether it's on See the Spending or not, we can run our database to provide the information that may not be. So that's something we offer to the media that we can't really offer to the public. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much for being here. Again, if you need anything,